Hello, my name's Robin Lambert, I'm 19 years old and living with cerebral palsy, but you guys know me as the T-Rex and you're watching My T-Rex Life. Okay guys, today I want to talk about something that everyone's talking about. It's surrounded by a lot of controversy at the minute within the disabled community, and that is the film Me Before You. Now, I have three major issues with this film. The first being that, there's been a lot of critique of this film saying, it's just one story. It's not supposed to be reflective of, the entire disabled community. Why are we being so harsh? And the deal is that it's just one of a saga of films that have come out lately that have pushed one predominant narrative. Now, as it stands, people within the disabled community are severely underrepresented within the media. And when they are portrayed, or there are stories surrounding disability presented in our media, they present people with disabilities in one of two ways. They're either, spending every day triumphantly overcoming adversity, and that is their main focus, is to be, they're put up on a pedestal and made to be an inspiration because of all the hardships that they've overcome. Or, they're falling victim to the horrors of disability and, they're depressed and, we're supposed to, it's driven in a way that we're supposed to pity them. And most recently, most of the films have been towards the latter. Neither one is great or a realistic representation of the most common experience of disability, common experience of living with a disability. But recently, it's been the latter, and it's basically Hollywood is telling everyone that disabled lives aren't worth living through these films. And, that's just not true. We're not seeing accurate representation for people with disabilities. We're not seeing people with disabilities, so-and-so who just so happens to have a disability but is thriving, or so-and-so who's doing this but just so happens to have a disability, which is how, a majority of us see us. I don't see myself as just a disabled person. I see myself as an athlete, I see myself as a creator, who happens to have a disability. And yes, disability is a very important part of my identity, and it's something that I talk about a lot, but it's not the whole picture, and it's not, it's not for me to be made an inspiration because of my disability, or, for you to pity me because of my disability. It's just part of who I am. And, there already is a kind of negative attitude generally towards disability within our society. It's already seen as something that should be fixed or changed in order for people to fit in with society. And, these movies are just reinforcing that. And by telling people that disabled lives aren't worth living, they're devaluing us. They're not showing us as productive members of society. They're not showing us as people that have something to offer. They're not, and so what do you think that does for people that are looking to employ disabled people? Or, it has a negative impact on how we're perceived by the wider population, and that in turn leads to a lot of issues for us. There's a reason why disabled people don't get employed. It's because people have these preconceived ideas of what it means to be disabled, which these movies are just reinforcing. Now, the second issue that I have with this film is that it reinforces the idea that disabled men are not masculine because they cannot have sex in the most conventional way, or, it's believed that they're asexual or cannot fulfill people's sexual desires. Basically, in the film, Will tells the female lead in this movie that, they can't be in a committed relationship because he cannot have sex with her. Now, all of the disabled people that I know personally have sex. It might not be in the way that you and your partner do it, or, it might not be as straightforward as that, but they do, and they all have sexual desires, and they're all more than capable than fulfilling other people's sexual desires. And we're basically, through these kind of movies, we're saying that disabled men are not real men. I mean, the whole idea of masculinity to me is, something that I've talked about before. But again, it's just not a realistic representation of what it means to live with a disability. And it's having a negative impact again on how we are perceived as a community. And the third and final issue that I have with this film is that, once again, a disabled person is being played by an able-bodied person. Now, I get that acting is exactly that. It's acting. It's being somebody that you're not. But until disabled people can get roles as actual disabled people, because they can't get roles as anything, but until they can get roles as actual disabled people, I don't think able-bodied people should be playing disabled people. And when disabled people can be playing roles other than, the disabled person, or, they can be in movies that aren't just about disability, then I think it'll be fine for able-bodied people to play disabled people. I have so many friends who are actors and are trying to make it in the business, and they can't because they can't get roles. And when, you know, there's a role that they're literally born to play and they're not getting offered that, it just really makes me annoyed. You know, and there's all these people saying that, you know, we need these big Hollywood actors to be in these movies to draw a crowd and that. But how is any disabled person ever supposed to become a big Hollywood actor if no one will ever take a chance on them? So yeah, it's just really frustrating that, you know, there's just so many arguments and there's not, it's like I know there are so many people trying to make it, and that's what's really frustrating about it for me. Anyway guys, let me know how you enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts on the film down below, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, but most importantly guys, remember to stay shiny because I love yous.